Chairperson of the ANC, Gwede Mantashe, has left the Cosatu's 14th Congress after being denied an opportunity to speak yesterday. Yesterday, he was booed off the stage by angry members. For more on the strained Tripartite Alliance relationships, I'm joined in studio by our politics editor, Lukhanyo Calata. Is it just us? Because from his tone, he downplayed everything, right? So this is nothing new, according to him. It happened to President Cyril Ramaphosa earlier this year. It happened to the former president, Jacob Zuma. So leaders within the ANC have to open themselves to abuse, he says?
Sure. Of course he's going to try and downplay it. But this comes at a time, Dudu, when the African National Congress and its leadership are heading towards the 55th elective conference, but also at a time when the government of the ANC is seen to not be doing a lot for workers. Remember, a few weeks ago, Cosatu and the other trade federation, SACP, they were both, they staged what they called a national shutdown. It wasn't that successful, but ultimately, what they're trying to do is to send a message to the African National Congress to say that they are not happy. So, and have they achieved that? Yes, they have. Gwede Mantashe's response to it tries to downplay it. But let's quickly just listen to his exact words, in how they're trying to come out of this, hopefully smelling like roses.
We're not going to speak today, and we're given a flip-flop promise that they will still discuss it further. Now, I think it is too much of a burden on the Federation to try to push them to allow us to speak. We have not been allowed to speak. In May Day, the President was not allowed to speak in Rustenburg. So it's not a new occasion. I think 1 year, President Zuma was not allowed to speak in Mangaung. And we have actually endured that abuse. We have continued to allow every alliance partner to speak in ANC occasions.
He also made the admission that the alliance is weak, and then we also heard from Sori Mabaila during the Congress saying that leaders within the ANC are being remote controlled by somebody somewhere.
Yeah, Mapaila was quite strong. I think it's gotten to that point where both the parties within the Tripartite Alliance are trying to tell their colleagues within the ANC that, listen, something isn't right. And we feel that there are those within this organization that should not have as much influence as what they have, but they do. His words were quite scathing, dude, and I just want us to listen to it, and then we can quickly just discuss that afterwards. Solima Pail.
The working class has to contest the African National Congress. Today, the working class just entered the African National Congress for debate, raise issues. Its issues sometimes are ignored. But criminals are now contesting the African National Congress. How can criminals be better than revolutionaries? They contest the African National Congress. Their views are heard in policy framework, in tenderization systems. They control leaders. They fund leaders to contest positions in the movement, to come and lead the National Democratic Revolution. This cannot be allowed to go on anymore. The working class has to stand up.
Dude, so Mapaela said criminals are contesting positions within the African National Congress. But then he went on to say that ultimately the South African Communist Party is ready to contest an election by itself. Now, Gwede Mantashe then responded to that by saying, look, how can they serve us with a divorce in such a public platform? But I think what we've seen today playing out at the over the last 2 days, playing out at the Cosatu Congress, is in essence the beginning of the end for the Tripartite Alliance. How does it potentially survive what is now such a wide rift between what Cosatu, who is really interested or pushing the agenda of labor, the Communist Party, who's pushing a very leftist and socialist agenda, and then obviously the African National Congress, which seems to be this broad church, but has been slammed by its Tripartite Alliance partners as being much more capitalist in its outlook than anything else. So it's going to be interesting the next few days, weeks, months, as we build up to the 55th National Elective Conference of the ANC.
Indeed, these different schools of thought within the Tripartite Alliance have always existed. Is it really the beginning of the end? Because even some of these strong statements, we've heard them before, so you wonder whether it's window dressing just to appease the masses.
I don't think so, Dudu. I think what we're seeing ultimately is that Cosatu and the SACP, they aren't getting as close to the levers of power as what I'm sure that they would like. Because ultimately, as Mapaila was saying there, is that the views of criminals are being heard within these frameworks, whereas by implication, their views then are not heard. So if their views are not heard within the alliance, why stick around? Remember, the SACP did contest. It was a by-election in a ward, and they won. It doesn't necessarily mean that we'll see them contesting in 2024 at the national elections, but I do think that it's a start. And I don't think that they'll be able to bridge this rift. I just think that what we've seen over the last couple of days is just an escalation of a problem that's only going to get bigger.
And time will tell. Lukhanyo Calata is our politics editor. Engos.
Thank you.